So this is our test subject. We're gonna ride it as it is now before we put on the flywheel weight. It's definitely got some weight to it. Oh my God! Of course, it was too good to be true. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Full Throttle Films, and today we're going to be doing a really cool mod to my CR250 Supermoto. We're actually going to be adding a 9-ounce flywheel weight. This one's made by Steahly Off-Road. But before we do any installations, we're going to go out on the bike right now so we can get an idea of how the bike rides. I found some other videos on YouTube of people installing these and even riding the bike after, giving no review whatsoever. But in this video, we are going to install this thing, test it, and let you guys know how it feels, okay? I'm going to give you a little review on it. Here she is. This is the baby. 2003 CR250R Supermoto, running Electron carb. I built the motor 3 years ago, so this is our test subject. We're gonna ride it as it is now before we put on the flywheel weight. Me and the boys are going to Walmart. Kike riding the KTM 690 Enduro, and that's my boy Winnie riding my old CR250R. So this is how she revs right now. Definitely crispy. I hope that we don't lose any of that when we put this flywheel weight on. So why am I doing this? I'm looking for more usable power. This bike is so explosive and I'm not using it on the track anymore. I just like to do wheelies or just cruise around on. So in theory, it's gonna cruise better at the low RPM. It won't want to stall, and it should have more traction when I get on the power, and also the wheelies should be smoother because the power delivery is gonna be a lot more controllable and less explosive. What a nice day to go for a ride! Yes, sir! my lawn. If I'm gonna like the flywheel weight. It might change the bike so much that I don't like it, because right now I almost love it. I just wish it was a little easier to wheelie, especially in the lower speed, lower gears. We out, back to the house, back to change this flywheel weight, see what's up. Cutting up that traffic, boy. I'll still be able to do that. All right, we've got the bike back in the shop. It is cooling down right now. Still a little bit too hot to work on, but this is the kit we're going to be installing. Steahly flywheel for CR250, and this is the 10-ounce flywheel weight. And I'll give you a quick look at what it looks like. It's definitely got some weight to it. So the installation is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and take the shifter off to get a little more space in here, get this cover off, and hopefully we're gonna be able to reuse this gasket. It only comes with one gasket, but we're gonna need 2 gaskets because there's also a spacer in here, this plastic spacer. Alright, so I'm going to be using an air impact gun. If you don't have one of these, you're going to want to lock up the motor and use a wrench to break this loose, but the impact is going to be the easiest. Just like that. Took 2 seconds. We are ready to go ahead and install this flywheel weight, and what we're going to do is we're going to put it on here, and it actually threads counterclockwise. It's got a reverse thread like this. We're gonna go until it's hand tight is what they tell us. So it's on there, but it's still spinning the whole motor now. And I think I just want to go ahead and put this stopper plug in now so that we can tighten this as much as possible by hand before we put the new nut on. And we're going to have the lockup tool for that anyways. Well, when going to take the spark plug out, I noticed that it is quite burned and it has seen better days. I'm really glad that I found another new spark plug for this bike. We're going to go ahead and throw that in as well. And this right here is what the tool looks like, the one that we're going to be using to lock up the motor. It's going to screw in where the spark plug screws in, and that little nylon stopper will butt up against the piston and keep it from turning the motor over. That should do it. Looks like it's working now. Can't spin the motor over. So they just tell you to get it hand tight. So that's all we're gonna do. Now we are going to take our new special nut and install it here. We're gonna torque this down to 42 foot-pounds. I believe it is a 16 millimeter. That's what it is, it's a 16. So next we are gonna unscrew this and put the spark plug back in before we forget. This thing was actually pretty cool. And now here we have our crispy brand new spark plug we're gonna throw in there. So now all we have to do is get this cover back on, but we're gonna have to use this spacer so that we have enough clearance for this new flywheel weight. And it also comes with another gasket we're gonna put here. So it's actually gonna have 2 gaskets, one on each side of this spacer. And I'm gonna put a little bit of grease on this thing in case we need to take it off in the future, it won't tear. And that is gonna be it for this install. It was super simple. As you can see, we got that spacer in there now. The next thing we need to do is just start it up and see what the hell happened. I am really not sure what this is gonna be like. This is the first time I've ever had any experience with a flywheel weight. Do need to mention they tell you to check the tightness of that center nut 30 minutes after the first installation, and every 10 hours you wanna check and make sure it's hanging on there tight. So we're definitely gonna check it again in about 30 minutes of use after a few rips on this thing. Let's start it up. Well, that absolutely did not work. The motor locked up, and I thought it was the flywheel, but no, it spins fine. It was hitting the cover right here. There was some metal debris in here, and I could see where it was marking. So this is what it looks like after grinding down a little bit of material, and I mean just a little bit. And I've already put the cover back on and kicked the bike over a few times, holding the kickstart, holding the kill switch so that it wouldn't actually fire up. No more metal shavings are coming off, and it's free spinning again. So this should do the trick. I'm gonna put the cover back on, and we're gonna fire it up. Well, hell yeah, this thing is running good right now with that new spark plug. Only thing I noticed really is it has more vibrations, definitely. This bike shakes a little bit more than it did before, which isn't really a positive. Yeah, the motor still screams. It revs real quick and it revs out hard, so this weight should be really nice. I think that the bike is gonna ride amazing, and I'm just gonna take this cover back off real quick and make sure there's no more grinding happening, because it only takes 2 minutes to get this cover off and check, and then we're gonna take this bike out for a rip. I'm not really sure it's gonna change that much. It didn't really feel that much different right now, but I bet when we ride it, it might feel like a completely different beast. All right, we're looking perfect in here. Absolutely no more grinding, no more metal flakes. Everything's clean, and we are clearing. Moment of truth. Let's see if this thing is more like a 4-stroke and easier to wheelie. And you guys are getting the 100% first impressions after doing this mod. Like I said, it definitely vibrates a lot more. Look at the bars. But look at that, rolling out of gear. Look at this, going super slow in gear. This is amazing. I'm barely giving it gas. I could not do this before. Yeah, and it definitely, it revs out fast when it's sitting in neutral, but now that I'm riding it, it's way different. Wow, the power comes on hard and strong still, but it's just a little slower to come on. Oh my God! Oh my God, it feels amazing! And it's definitely fast. Traction everywhere now. This feels way smoother. Let's pop one up in third. Third is usually pretty hard. Wow, I love it. Oh yeah, it's way better for what I want to do. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Now this thing still lights up. Wow. It definitely didn't lose any power. It feels amazing. I have so much traction. It feels like this bike should have come with a flywheel weight. So I don't know if it accelerates quite as fast, but it's fast enough for me, and it didn't change it that much that I don't like it. I mean, I love it so far. I need to do like a 4th and 5th gear wheelie to see what it's like. Another huge thing is it's cruising way better on the highway. It was too good to be true. I decided it's a good idea to check if the flywheel weight was okay. It definitely was not. Look at this. This is literally how I found it. I'm so lucky that it didn't completely come off. As you can see, it was grinding in here and in the middle. Well, we have no choice. This thing doesn't even go back on. The threads got jacked up. So much for the flywheel weight. That was cool while it lasted. What a piece of shit.